Some viewers may find the following video disturbing. Viewer discretion is advised.
Hey everyone, welcome to the discussion for Vagrantsong. This one was a game that I knew nothing about until Gen Con last year.
Yeah.
When it was just randomly brought up, and I'm like, oh yeah, I'll try to get a copy. And, because it's like, oh hey, it's like Cuphead, but for hobos. And we went to go get a copy, but they sold out like two, like right before us.
Yeah.
There's some lady.
Just like one person before us, yeah.
Yep. And I was like, oh well, I'll pre-order it. And I did. So it's very strange because this one and Townsfolk Tussle came out in the same year.
Yeah.
And it's like, for some reason, this art style and this kind of theme...
It's getting some hotness.
It really has. Which, I mean, I'm loving it. Like, I think this is a really neat art style. This is a cool theme to take on. I know there were other, like, Cuphead is not the originator of that art style, of course, because that was done, like, 80 years ago.
Right.
But it definitely brought it to the mainstream.
Yeah, brought it more into the public eye.
Exactly. So, I just thought this was, like, a campaign-style game, and it is. But I did not know this was a boss battler.
Yeah.
Like, I had no idea that that's kind of what each scenario was. It's very intriguing because the map is the same.
Yeah.
It is
Just
set...
a bunch of boxcars.
Yeah, boxcars. It's set on this train. But I will say we've done, at this point, 3 scenarios. I think this game is great.
Yeah.
Like, I have a really good time with it. It has some issues for it that make me from gushing over it like we did with Townsfolk Tussle. But I think for the most part, like, the 3 different bosses that we fought have played differently, have had an air of different, theming and kind of things around them. The different events that can happen for each scenario so they're different. The rituals or objectives are different.
Yeah.
So even though it is set on this train, very, very cool theme, ominous, spooky theme, I think they do a great job.
Yeah, they're definitely doing pretty well. I know, keeping a theme to each of the bosses. We fought 3, people with their backs turned. That one was a little weird.
Yeah.
It's like I couldn't quite, get my head around that one. The flayed skin one, that was probably my favorite so far.
Yeah.
And then
he was a lot easier to understand kind of what these people are. It does tend to be like a overarching kind of theme, especially like with the cat.
I'm sure there's some kind of limbo bullshit.
I think that's probably what it is.
We're probably dead on a train, or we're something. I don't know what we are.
This is the train to heaven or hell, and you're determined based off what you do in the bed. That's probably what it is, yeah. But overall, like, I think that the game, like, definitely it has some strategy to it, which is really neat. Like, your typical co-op things, how you move and attack and things, and you get items. All that stuff has been seen before, but with the different skills and kind of the unique integration of your actions, these are essentially action points. I think it's all accentuated by the theme and the fact that you have, I don't know how long the campaign is. If I had to guess, I think there's 20 of these in between cards.
Okay.
So that is probably the length of the game.
Yeah.
But then again, I thought it was just going to be a front-to-back thing, and by the second one, we were already...
This is a big chunk.
Yeah, and I'm like, oh!
Yeah, 3 doorways.
So it may not even be that long. You might not have to go through all 20. No idea. But yeah, what are your overall thoughts?
My overall thoughts? It's not too bad. It's definitely a bigger numbers game, because I remember Townsfolk Tussle was a very low scale numbers game. It kept all the numbers pretty low. But in this one, we're taking our full health and damage several times, and we can do it like 4 times before we're out.
Right. So you essentially have like 32 hit points, and I have 40. Is kind of how it works. I do think that scales pretty well, though. Like, because of that, the fact that you can ramp up and be at max HP, that you're constantly almost always taking humanity hits.
Yeah.
And you have ways to heal, and it's like, it doesn't feel like, in these cooperative games, there's times where it's like, man, we just steamrolled that, and it's kind of boring. Madara is one that kind of comes to mind, where it's like there's like a weird balance where sometimes it's really hard, then other times we wipe the table, and then very rarely is it kind of that good middle where it's like, yeah, we took some damage, but we strategized and overcame it. This one does feel like it has that balance. Like, you took 3 wounds, but it's like it was obviously it's luck of the draw from the bindle on what the monster's doing or what the boss is doing, but it's like, well, you did choose to stay possessed 4 times, and it's like that was a ritual, and it's like we can actively heal, but that's in lieu of doing something else. So I like those choices. Now here's my negative. You ready?
Is it dice?
It is dice.
It is dice. Yeah.
I like the exploding dice. I've always liked that in mechanisms. However, there is 0 way to mitigate.
Yeah.
And that is your difficulty. I mean, it's the same thing I had with Madara. That's just what we're going to end up playing later, so that's why it's coming up to the forefront. How well you do and how hard or easy a given scenario is dependent on how much you draw. Or not how much you draw, what?
How well you roll.
How well you roll. And that can be very frustrating, because it's like, we set up, for example, in the one against this lonely lady, we set up this scenario, or we strategized to stand around her to use my gumption, 1 success.
Right.
And it's like, okay, I'm really glad we planned all that just for me to eat shit.
Yeah.
But at any given time, it could have been 3 successes, then 3 more, and it's like, oh, okay, that's 5 successes, that's 15 damage, you know? And those sways, I don't know, it feels like you fail more than you succeed. Yeah. Even though if that was a success, that's 1 immediate break on her, because that'd be 15 damage, and it's like, oh damn, we fucked her up. But that isn't how that went. It went, we struggled for a while, and it's like, oh man, I'm glad you move, and then 1 success, 1 damage.
The way the turns work. So, okay, explain to me, because I'm just kind of just following your lead. You just tell me when I go.
Yeah.
So it seems, okay, so the round starts, and then we pick who goes first.
Yeah.
And then one of us goes, she goes, the other one
Alternating
goes,
turns.
she goes.
Then we both have gone, so now a new round starts.
So we both go, and that's it? It just felt like the rounds were lasting longer. So she just goes twice.
It only felt like... Yes.
Okay. I don't know why it felt so much longer to me. Like there was
because you were possessed the entire time. True. So it was basically...
Maybe that's it.
It was I went, then she went, then you went again, and then she went.
Yeah.
Yeah, this one did feel a lot longer, even though, funny enough, time-wise it wasn't.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's why, because I was like, man, why are we getting rocked? Oh, you're possessed each time, so you're fucking me up. Also, she goes and then fucks me up again.
Yeah, it's not a good time.
Yeah, there's a lot of games that have that, where players decide... I mean, I can't remember. Does KDM have alternating? Or is it all the players go, and then the monster goes?
I mean, the monster just gets to react with hit locations and shit.
Okay. I know a lot of games do that, where it's one person, then the enemy, then one person, then the enemy. Some do have it where it's all people and then the monster.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was like, you kept asking, so when do I go? And I'm like, I'm confused as to how you were confused, but maybe I just poorly explained it. But yeah, it's so the dice are my absolute biggest complaint. I do really like this. I love the variety with the different scenarios. I do like the camp phase, because that feels like, oh, now it's our reward time. But man, it can just definitely feel like a slog when you're like, missed.
Yeah, it's like when you're. It just felt like I was face tanking.
Yeah,
it's just like it could have just been the boss. Maybe playing it poorly. We got not a lot of movement. You can't do a lot of positioning. It doesn't feel like you can really predict what they can do so well, because they can do all kinds of moves.
That is true.
And it's like I feel like I'm inevitably taking damage here, and if I try and stop and heal, I feel like I'm just wasting my turn.
Right, you heal just to take the damage.
They're gonna hit me again.
Yeah,
and it's like, okay, so
yeah. I will. Yeah, no, that's a good point. Like the way the boss works. So if this is a boss battler, which this game was not anywhere near my radar, because I know there's a lot of boss battlers coming out this year. So those are the ones I knew about, and then this one I was like, oh, so it's like it is really cool. Like the fact how they have different modes, and that affects special rules and cycle effects. The cycling of the boss is neat. And maybe, I think, if I'm not mistaken... Okay, no, never mind. I was thinking, there's a certain number of these in here based off their threshold. That's not the case.
Oh, it's not?
No. Because there's 6. There's 2, 4, 6, 7. There's 7 candles total. And it has a threshold of 4. But, I mean, you could math it out if you wanted to. You could know how many of each are in the bag at any given time, and then be like, okay, you and I have two nails. There's 3 on there. Okay, that means there's 3 left. But that would just slow the game down drastically, trying to math it. It's just easier to pull it. The variety I do enjoy, just because they do different stuff. But you're right. In boss battlers, take Dark Souls or any From Software game, understanding their rhythm is how you beat them. And until you figure that out, that's part of the challenge, is being like, okay, so now he's kind of going to do, I know this he's telegraphing, and I'm going to dodge because it won't hit me. You can't do that here.
Yeah.
You just have to...
you look at her effects. So she tries to move through you.
She has an AoE.
Yeah.
Causes possessed to act. So it's like they're very thematic. They're tied to the characters really well. But if you're wanting a more... I would say strategical sense of a boss battler, this does have it, but also it doesn't. Like, I never felt like I was going through the motions with my character or my turn.
I mean, yeah, there's definitely ways to mitigate, but maybe it's because she just had that giant AoE that was very vexing. The one where we just all lost to. Yeah, everyone's taking damage.
Yeah, it was basically, we just all took damage, and if we were grouped up, we took more.
Yeah.
But with my character, it's like, my dog counts as a character. So I was like...
double damage?
Yeah, I was getting fucked.
Yeah, gross.
So, the one thing... There is another thing that's kind of a negative that is weird. It's more of a component thing. Is they have ways to give you extra coins, but coins are... these are called coins, our action tokens. And they're tied to our character based off of our symbol. But there's no generic coins.
Right.
So it's like, okay, to represent that we have extra coins, we'd have to pull out some other character's coins. And that's just very weird. It's like, I guess you could take these gray ones and act as coins.
Yeah.
But
just no extra.
Just have generic, no-symbol coins.
It's a coin.
And be like, this is what we have in our pool. Instead of trying to remember, oh, crap, how many did we have in the camp phase? Did we spend it already? I mean, I know it's just adding like 1 or potentially more, but it's like, it's just weird. I'd like to have the material.
Yeah.
Like, that'd be like going to the settlement phase in KDM, and it's like, oh yeah, you have innovation tokens. Oh, where are they? Now you just have them.
Yeah, they're wrapped.
Well, can I have anything physical? No. So, it's just kind of odd. What do you think of the character, like the character creation, or character build-up, or the RPG element?
So far I've enjoyed it. I like the variety of skills.
Yeah.
It's not too bad. I'm sure it probably doesn't scale up too much. I can't imagine how it would.
Oh, right. Yeah, you're talking about like we won't ever feel more powerful. Right. Like we don't get like stronger abilities. Right.
Well, I mean, it's easier to balance the game that way.
True.
But
yeah, we're not tanking and getting like higher level magic spells or something. It's just kind of like...
This is when we fight the final boss. He's 30 here, 6 breaks.
Yeah. Oh, God, 30 humanity and 6 breaks. God, that'd be 180 health. That wouldn't be possible.
Yeah, that'd be pretty rough.
But then again, I mean, it actually theoretically can be, because when you rummage... It's just like, I took a wound. I'm a rummage. Oh, hey, I found an apple. Okay, I'm healed. It just unflip that wound. So you can keep the longevity going.
Yeah.
If you really want to, as well as whenever you do get wounded and you become whatever. I immediately forgot what that's called. Westward. Yeah. Yeah. You actually don't die. You flip over to
yeah,
to your other side, which you can only do generic skills until you heal up. So, which is really neat. And they have different art and a different title for who you are. but I do like that. I like the fact that whenever you go down, it's not just, oh, that's it, you're kicked out.
Yeah.
Because then it's like, oh, okay, well then try to heal me, have me gain humanity, and then now I'm fully healed again. Mm-hmm. And then I can start trying to find apples and stuff. So they do have a lot going for them in this game. My favorite thing by far is, of course, the fact that in a boss battler, in my opinion, you have to have variety. You have to be able to fight the same boss and make it feel different each time. And I think they did that in the sense of these rituals, because these are hard to get. Yeah. Especially when some of them require you to get lucky and find them.
A specific item.
Yeah.
Who knows what it's tied to.
Right.
You know, is it a specific round bullshit? And
yep, exactly.
The fuck was the one-way ticket? And how did I end up finding that feather? I had to draw something, I think. Yeah, I drew the token.
You drew the token.
Generally, they seem to be tied to tokens.
Yes. Yeah, they're all going to be tokens. A lot of the ones we've had so far have been just in the bag, but some get placed onto the map. Some, get, like you said, get placed onto specific rounds and breaks. And but I like that because that gives you different goals. Oh, we fought the skin guy, and we only got one, so let's try and get the other one. And but what's also neat is whenever you finish it, like you finish and if you succeed or fail, there is a different moment for you, which I always enjoy. I hate being at like, oh, you failed, redo it.
Yeah,
it's like I don't want to do that. I'm just gonna say I won. But then you get different mileposts, which are based off where you're at. So like it looks like there's 4 different ways, like General, Tunnel Vision, Snowblend, and Bone Orchard. And I bet you in the second one, depending on which one we picked, that's where we were at. Like I think it's the one. There was one, I think, spoilers, I guess, but it was like the handle starts to turn. I bet you that was we stay in General.
Oh.
And we chose the one that happened to go to the snow place, but then there was a different one. So I also like the thematic elements of the in-between, things you see as the train goes on, probably memories.
Shit.
Because definitely it's all leaning towards Limbo, but it's very cool. Like if this game didn't have this theme, it wouldn't stand out as much.
Definitely, especially when it's coming out at the same time as Tussle.
As Townsfolk Tussle,
and it's like.
And Townsfolk Tussle definitely has the air of a boss battler more. And this one and that one are, of course, going to get compared.
Yeah.
And I will say they do play radically different. Like you can own both, and you will get your boss battler fill in a completely different way. Townsfolk Tussle definitely seems to be more. It is more boss battler focused. Different terrain. The upgrade elements.
Right. Gear.
Yeah, gear, skills, like events, different bosses with different, things. This has that, but that one is for sure. Oh, pick a boss, fight him, and it's also a lot darker. It seems like in a humorous way.
Yeah,
the fucking scarecrow is like jumping and impaling people with a stick. This doesn't have that. This is more somber. And it does have a little bit of humor, like a little like, oh man, maybe it'll get better, right? Just kind of like, but that one is more dark humor. Other than that, really, my biggest complaint is these dice. Like, I guess they have ways to mitigate. Like your hat makes it.
But I gotta
easier.
be alone.
You have to be alone.
I think working with your character makes that a little more difficult to activate.
Yeah, I can always change, and the good news is it's not like a...
And I might try another character.
Right.
Like
however, you do lose skills.
Oh, no way.
Yeah.
Seriously? They don't...
They don't
do they
care.
stay with her?
I'd have to look it up, but it does say that if you because there's not like a respec or anything. Let me find it real quick. Where is it? Right here. Choosing a new Vagrant. Do so, you permanently discard any exclusive skills that you have learned. As a Vagrant, you no longer wish to play. Starting skills are not permanently discarded, may be taken if a player decides to play that Vagrant. They keep any non-wounded common skills. So there's common and exclusive. Exclusives are tied to a certain character. The ones we have right now are common.
Oh, so you would lose her exclusives, obviously.
Yes.
Okay.
But there are other exclusive skills that you can come across.
So how do you know if they're common or exclusive?
The common ones, I don't know. I think they just look. I'd have to find it. But the ones that are tied to her have her symbol on them.
Yeah. Okay. So then if I switched characters, I'd keep both of these.
Yeah, it looks like they keep any non-wounded cards and non-broken junk they would like to keep as the new Vagrant. Yeah.
Okay.
But it does say, where was it? It's important to note that changing Vagrants will generally make that player weaker due to losing those exclusive skills that were earned along the way, and is not encouraged for this reason unless the player is not enjoying a Vagrant's playstyle. Mm-hmm. Which is fair. I do like her playstyle. I do think the Vagrants do play not radically different, like you're not, but you are different enough. She does have. I do have to keep track of where her dog is, but her dog has benefits. But it's another target, and we share things. Mm-hmm. But I like that. You're all about ranged and do it, and you're kind of a support. You can deal a lot of damage and help out other Vagrants.
Yeah, it seems like she's like burst damage. It's like diddly peddly, but as soon as she gets a 6, it's like, oh shit!
Yeah.
Shit's going off.
Yep. So I do enjoy that, and I think the game scales well for the number of players. Like it's not like we're sitting here like we need 4. We can't do this.
Right.
14 was it does seem like the pacing at this point is going pretty well. The first one was super easy. Yeah. That was definitely a tutorial. Second one was challenging. Yeah. I got wounded a little bit, but we overcame. And this one felt really rough, but at the same time, I was never like, it's impossible. Mm-hmm. Like, I had one good gumption, and it's like, oh man, that's 8 damage,
Right.
So, I do like this quite a bit, but the dice. This is one of those games I can't binge play.
Yeah.
Because the dice will start to make me mad. Mm-hmm. But other than that, it's a really good one if you can get a copy.
Not a bad game, and just the sheer volume of bosses. Yeah. And the sheer affordability.
Yep, exactly.
Well, how much does it cost? I don't know.
75.
75, yeah, that's not bad.
I think is Townsfolk Tussle.
I mean, it's all standees, and so then they're very nice.
Very standees. Love the clear standees.
And they're not.
Type.
Yeah.
And here's the other thing is it's very the rule book is kind of ass. It's kind of dog shit because only in layout. In terms of teaching you the game, it does a really good job. Mm-hmm. But whenever I was trying to set it up, I had the hardest time figuring it out because I was like, okay, I had all these tokens, and I'm like, it doesn't tell you, put all the rummage tokens to put them in here. Mm-hmm. Set all the skills off to the side. It doesn't tell you any of that. It just basically says setup of the game. Each scenario is different. Go there. And I was like, oh, okay, I'll go to scenario 1. It doesn't tell me what to do with all this stuff. So, and then kind of the layout. It's one of those where it teaches you a bunch of different components and rules to that before telling you what you can do. Mm. I've never preferred that style. But once it's kind of one of those rule books. Read the whole thing and you'll learn how, and you'll get it. Which sounds stupid, obvious. It sounds dumb. But it's kind of like, I don't know, it's just formatted weird.
Yeah, cover to cover. And then just like, okay, this is how you play it.
Yeah, you won't know something until you, it sounds so stupid. But yeah, cover to cover. Oh, okay, I don't know what any of these tokens do, but if I read literally everything, it'll finally tell me, you can't just skip to the setup and figure it out.
Right.
But yeah, it's very smooth. Once you do learn that, it's just pop the board down, boom, set it up, and then you really can just kind of go. And Townsfolk Tussle, you do kind of have to learn the minutiae of different things.
It needs marbles. Hate the pogs. Hate the pogs in the bag. Hated it.
Yep.
Eldritch.
Yeah, Arkham Horror.
Yeah, Arkham Horror, hated it.
Yep.
Hated it here.
Yep. Yeah.
Drawing cardboard tokens from a bag is the worst.
Yeah. No, it's after you never feel like they're shuffled.
It's awful.
Yeah, they feel like they're always stuck together, and this bag is so fucking tiny. I do not have that big of hands, and I'm like, okay, so I'm sitting here fucking really just a teabag in the bag just to get something to come out, and then so I'm pretty much pushing them up just to grab a token. This bag, I know what they were going for. They were obviously going for the bag and stick fucking theme, where it's like, woohoo, getting on the train. It's the patchwork thing. That's
just a little bit bigger would help.
Make a big bag where people can get their whole goddamn hand, because it's a good bag because it's circular. It's not like the square one where they get stuck in a corner.
Yeah.
So it's but
that's
it's
true. Good point.
They're fucking. It's stupid.
That is so.
Yeah, and this game is not going to get enough critical acclaim for someone to make those round things on Etsy. There's no way.
Yeah.
But other than that, This is a really good boss battler. I enjoy it. I'm glad I have it.
Yeah, no, definitely.
And like if someone were to be like, "Oh, which one do you want to play, Townsfolk Tussle or this one?" Flip a coin.
Yeah,
honestly, Townsfolk Tussle. But
this, I mean, it's good, and I like that it has like a lengthy campaign with bridging narrative, I guess.
Yeah. But that's another campaign.
Yeah, but but Townsfolk Tussle definitely had the more thematic feel, and I was like, oh fuck, what the shit is he doing?
No, I agree. And sometimes it's like, yes, if you want a campaign, you can do it here and you'll have that boss battler overarching thing, but sometimes you just want to smack a boss around and be like, well, actually, Townsfolk Tussle, it's always 4 bosses in a row, so it feels like a mini campaign, because you can't, in both of those, you can't just be like, oh, let's fight this. Funny enough, no boss battler game has that I can think of.
What, just, hey, let's fight this?
Just pick a boss. Like you can't just, like, even, you theoretically could, I guess, in KDM.
I mean, because then they have to, but then they have to build your character for you,
that's
essentially.
True. That is true.
Because, like, part of it is the growth of your character and the strength and skills and build that you create.
Yeah, as you get stronger, or if you don't build well enough and you get to the final, like in Townsfolk, if you don't build well and you're just like, all right, we're just gonna get ganked.
I know with the Giga line from KDM, they like printed like card stock, player boards. It's like, okay, this is how it is scheduled.
And I did like the Giga line a lot because it was really cool. That
that was a really cool like thematic fight. It felt really balanced.
Yes,
it's like that was a good. They know how to balance that. but
no, you're right. That is the only exception I can think of where it's like, boom, here's these characters fight. But yeah, you're right. Everything else is the growth of the characters. So, on a scale of 1 to 10, what would you give Vagrantsong?
I will give it.
And do you want to continue the series?
Yeah, I would.
Okay.
Yeah, I definitely. It's a good time, and I kind of want to see where it's going to go.
Yeah.
And see how much more ridiculous their bosses are going to get, because that was quite a jump.
It was, yeah. It was such a jump from the second one to the third one that I was looking up if I missed something.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, maybe we weren't supposed to read that one, and like we shouldn't be here. But then I was like, okay, let me check out the in between rules because that's what took us here. All right, yep, they're numerical, and yep, you read them one after another, and there's always one in the camp face. So I was like, no, that's it. Unless I get something different.
Okay. I will give it. It's fun. And it's definitely up my wheelhouse. I mean, the skills are really cool. It definitely helped simplify the situation. So there's not like a whole gear situation. It's more of a side, left or right skill type.
Yeah, but you're given 2 choices in the camp phase. You're not given 8 or 10 items,
Right. It's not like you have to save up money. I guess there's some milestone, for saving a bunch of coins.
Yeah, those are moments which are in the rulebook. There are 86 of them.
Yeah.
But yeah, you can progress trackers based off mileposts and banked coins. Small. I mean, and I think this company has only made this game.
Really?
I don't know this company. Like they.
Weird Games.
Yeah. So let me see if I can. I'm 100% sure this is it, but. Weird. I guess that one.
Hey.
Hold on, I'm just gonna type in Vagrantsong because I am curious. Vagrantsong. Okay, so yeah. Oh, they're called, the publisher is Weird Miniatures. Oh, man, yeah. I don't know. I don't know where this came from. They do have other games listed on Board Game Geek, but
is it a Kickstarter?
No, I don't think so. The designers were Matt Carter, Justin Gibbs. Okay, I guess he did a game called Malifaux. I don't know.
Okay.
But yeah, definitely not, at least maybe not a well-known company.
Yeah. But yeah, good stuff. Yeah, I'm vibing. I'm feeling an 8. I'm feeling an 8. An 8 feels good. Like, I would definitely play it again, but does it have everything I want? Not quite.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'd be excited to play it again, and yeah, definitely one I would bring to the table over and over again.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll give it an 8.
Yeah, no, that's actually where I'm at too. I think it is really good. and I am excited to play it as well and just kind of see where it goes. But yeah, these are all basically, I wonder if the different choices, like the way that we took, I wonder if that's like the campaign, like we went through this door.
That's like this is the tutorial. You have your back turned, your flayed man.
Yeah.
And now it's like, okay, now here's your campaign.
Yep. And so then you have those bosses, and that would be nice because I would like to be like, oh, we finished that section, because it even mentions, oh, hey, in the back of the rule book, put which door you took, and then right now we're in Snowblind, so we did float on and things like that. So maybe it's like, oh, okay, now we jump back, so maybe you can't do every boss, which would be cool.
Right. I mean, there's a big handful that you showed me there.
Yeah, basically the whole bag, which I didn't know, because I was like, I thought those were just extra people that are going to be on the board. Nope, those are all bosses.
That's awesome.
So yeah, no, I'm definitely giving this an 8 as well. All right, so that's our thoughts on Vagrantsong. Stick around for the rest of the series. It looks like we will be continuing, and then, of course, as with every campaign, we will do a discussion to talk about that. But other than that, let us know what you think of the game in the comments below. Like, comment, share, and subscribe, and have a wonderful whatever time of day it is for you. Hey everyone, thank you for watching, and I really hope that you enjoyed the video. If you would like to see more of my content, go ahead and click that subscribe button and the bell to be notified whenever I upload any new content. If you feel like supporting the channel, you can go ahead and click that Patreon link to be taken to my Patreon, and any help is truly appreciated. Other than that, stick around for any other run-throughs or reviews or cool top 10s or whatever I feel like putting on. Other than that, like, comment, share, and subscribe, and have a wonderful whatever time of day it is for you.